All right, so week 3, Magic Realm, Magician, Berserker, Black Knight, and Elf. Last week, the game picked up considerably, and we went from what I would consider to be a pretty boring start to a very good week 2, and that's going to lead into sort of an interesting week 3 here, I think. And then we'll see, of course, where we get to toward the end here. So if we'll see the scores, the Berserker is currently in the lead. Not the most quests completed, but he has won so far prowess and gold. Now, mind you, neither of those leads is out of reach of the other characters. So I expect those 4 points to shift around a little bit in the next week or two. The magician, though, I think he might have a lock on spells. He has 2 spells learned. The elf has 1 spell learned. Um, so I think we're in for. I don't know for sure. We'll see what the heck happens. I think it's going to be pretty interesting. I'm excited, actually. Um, I'm excited. I'm going to yawn though. Now that I've said that like 22 times, keep that in mind. I actually looked this up. It's something about streaming and recording. Honest to God, a lot of people have mentioned that when they start to yawn. I've not yawned all day, and I'll yawn 5 times during this particular recording. Anyway, enough about my issues. Let's get on to week 3 here. So we ended day 14. It's day 15. Before we do anything else, we had to get 3 more events. Now, keep in mind the spider bounty is still active for 1 more week, and there is a spider here. So the Black Knight, I think, might have a reason to take that guy out. So that's and the magician already has taken one out, so he does not have as good a reason. It's still worth 5 gold, no matter what. So we got 1 spider there. We also have the tremendous spider here, and 1 more heavy sitting there. But we're gonna have 3 more events to deal with. Let's shuffle, and so we get the Lost Crone. So let's pull the crone. So the crone is going to be somewhere. The wood sprite, random clearing in the deep woods, and finally, oh geez, damn it! All right, and that's fine. It's just everything's at the deep woods because both of those are deep woods, deep woods spawns. Both of these appear in a random clearing in the deep woods. So the ring is going to appear in Deep Woods 2, and the wood sprite is also in Deep Woods 2. Well, there you go. We got 2 events in Deep Woods 2. The crone, sure, Deep Woods 2, maybe. Cliff 3. Holy crap. So, literally, everything came up sort of roses for these 2. I don't know if I should I re-roll that crone because it's just right with somebody. I don't even know. So I mean that is a ridiculous number of points for probably the damn magician, actually. Potentially, because he now he can't. So okay, so let's take a look at what each of these entails. So here is the wood sprite. So let me. Appears in a random clearing in the deep woods. To capture peer in her clearing, get a 3, 2, or 1. So much like finding a path. You can keep her. She's a source of gold magic, can aid you in combat. You get a VP. Or release her. Learn a type 3 spell. Convert up to 2 chits to magic 3. Or just gain a single magic 3 chit. All interesting. I'm sorry, I just screamed that into the mic. All interesting. And the magician certainly has that. Now here he has a little bit more of a problem. You're enchanting, enchanting, enchanting. So all these are enchants, which the magician can't do unless he captures the wood sprite first, in which case he can do that. So that is certainly interesting. Certainly interesting. And the Lost Crown, simply you pick her up. And I don't like the fact that it appeared on him, but I mean, it's one of those chips fall where they may kind of thing. That's sort of the vibe typically. So technically, he has to end his phase in here to pick her up. So we will keep that in mind, and he will definitely attempt to do that because it's worth a point to take her back to any dwelling, pretty much. And he gains a level of friendliness with the crone. I don't think he likes the crone now. So, all right. So that was a bounty for the magician and maybe for the Black Knight. And not quite as much for the Berzerker or the Elf. Now, the Berzerker could race back, I suppose. But I don't know. I mean, the Elf it's right out for the Elf. And I don't know that it's even worth it for the magician, given that everybody else is so close to this. Because it would take him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 phases, 6, 7 phases, 8, 9, 10 phases to get there. The magician's 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to have a whole day and a half easy over the Berzerker. And the Berzerker, worse, keep in mind, has 2 phases only. At this point in time, he only has 2 phases to begin with here, although he could have run out, but that's a different story. So, all right, let's see what we got here. So the magician, and he needs Spider Slayer anyway. This is a no-brainer for him. So he's going to end a phase, pick up the crone. So I will just put that there to remind myself. Now, mind you, we only get 4 phases now, so this is not quite as awesome. And we have the crone. The question is, do you run back to try to pop these two? Or do you assume that no one else is coming for them? So you could run back, right? So you do your alert phase, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you might want to hide. And if you do, you won't get there. So how about this? This is worth 1, 2. This is 3 points right here. And the magician has 5 points currently. So I think he's going to take this luck as a sign. And he played the hut. So he's going to get another card also. And he gets Spellmaster. So we have to roll that. So hold on. Let's roll that. We'll put a magician marker in. 5-1. Crag 1. Oh, we're not going there. That's a non-issue. So Spellmaster is, you learn of a reclusive teacher living somewhere in a realm. Now this is a great quest for him, by the way. Choose a random clearing, execute a quest phase, pay 5 gold, get a lesson, you score a VP, and you get a magic chit. And the problem with Magician is none of his magic chits pair up. So if you're unfamiliar with Magic Realm, then to cast a spell, you need to pair a chit, a Roman numeral, with a color. Black, white, gold, purple, gray. And then certain the numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, correspond to white, gray, gold, purple, and black magic. Well, the magician has one of every type. Not one, though. He has one of 2 through 8. So he doesn't have those pairs. That's one of the reasons why we pick type 7, 6, 7, and 8, is that these ones do not convert to color, and so he can utilize his other chits to convert to color. So here you see his color chits, his colorable chits, and his non-colorable chits. Giving him a second chit of his choice then allows him to pair up chits. It increases his spell casting considerably. Having said that, this location is awful because he's going to have to go all the way up here and muck through these mountains. The crag here is awful because each of these costs 2 phases, half a day to get through each. It's a long haul. So he'll keep this in mind, but I think his answer is to head straight back, try to score all of this. So he's going to grab the crone with his alert face. He's going to hide once and then move to Deep Woods 3, I believe. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. He'll have one hide face. He'll move there. Done. Okay. That leaves the Berzerker. So the Berzerker... well, obviously the Berzerker is going to rest, so we're going to put that somewhere. And, I mean, the main problem Berzerker has is he's stuck in the caves. He only gets 2 phases. We're going to do 2 searches. We're going to do his extra rest, and we are done. I think the knight, so the knight does want to plant that flag. He really does. He also wouldn't mind locating the shrine, which he has not yet done. He could rehire AR6, which he also needs to do. If he wants them. Actually, he doesn't need to. He has the soldiers. So he has the entirety of the soldiers in his pocket here. This spider is an auto kill if he's hidden. It is pretty good kill if he's not hidden. The demon, can the demon show up? The demon cannot show up. The demon's been killed. We killed it with the soldiers. You could get dragons, though. 2 of them. That would stink a little bit. 2 flyers. That would stink a bit. And on this side, this guy's a T6H4. Let's take a super, super quick look at the soldiers that we have at our disposal. So remember that the dude's only heavy, so that side will kill him. And he's an H6. Yeah, I think... if I am to be honest, I think his guy could go. And take care of that spider pretty much alone. So his one guy can go, because since he has an HQ, one of the leaders, that leader can act as a character. Actually, he would get a whole separate sheet, and he'd fill the sheet out. So he actually has 2 guys now. Now I'm going to utilize that power quite a bit because he can search. So he can search for the shrine. He can search for this path. So everything about this is good right now for the Black Knight, and the Black Knight is going to use that. But I also imagine that for today at least, he is going to, so the Black Knight is going to Now, I don't know what the magician did, so I could go here and say, man, I want to kill that spider to get the bounty points while I still can. And I think we're going to let R6 go because having the soldiers is enough for us. So I will keep R6 here just as a reminder. But what we're going to do is we are going to hide, and then we're going to search, search, and search. And then I put 2 slashes, and my HQ, this indicates that HQ is going to go and do a thing. He's going to hide. He's going to search twice, and then he's going to move into the spider. And R6 leaves. Okay, so that's his move. And so, and by the way, so I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to copy this chit, and I'm going to paste one here. He doesn't have 2 of the guys, but he does have, and actually this guy gets his own whole turn. And I think, because if he flips, he doesn't hit us automatically. We don't hit him automatically. But, and I can even split the guys up between the 2 leaders. So he's going to go with him. So I'll put him here. The rest of them are going to stick with me. So we'll take 2. He'll take 1. These guys will go pop that spider and done. So we have the move there. So day 15 all the way through to the elf. So the elf is in sort of a position here. So the elf, he has done his pub crawl. He's done his mountain pilgrim and learned a spell. He's winning the card battle. He has completed the most quests. But what he has now is he has Explore the Caves, Locate the Horde, and Giant Slayer. And the answer is there ain't no giants left anymore. So that's an issue. The Horde could be in the High Pass. The Horde could be in the cavern, and the Horde could be in the crag. And I think that's it. I think we have exhausted all other hexes. Oh, the borderland. No one has been to the borderland or stopped in the borderland. So that's sort of fascinating. So every hex, there's 2 types of hexes in Magic Realm. There are hexes with not 6 clearings, and there are hexes with 6 clearings. There's actually effectively, I mean, there's obviously more. There's 4 different types of hexes, but there's 3 sort of main differences. I keep changing the number on you. I understand that. Essentially, the valleys have the dwellings in them. So each valley has a dwelling. There are the mountains and cave tiles, which have 6 clearings, and they have potential treasure sites on them. And then there are the woods, which only have 3 clearings, and all they have is hazards. So, but they serve a weird purpose in that if enchanted, they sort of form a gate. The paths cross in such a way that you can block off sections with woods if you're a mage. And it's one of the powers of being a mage. The elf actually did it by closing this off, by being the first to get here and the first to enchant this tile. He essentially is forcing the Berzerker to waste probably a couple days easy in these caves, which normally I would avoid. Now, mind you, the Berzerker also has the lair here, which is awesome. But it's going to take him days to get through because as soon as you touch a cave, your moves go down from 4 to 2. Unless you have something special, which he doesn't. So the Horde could be here, or here, or here. I say we head back to the borderland. That's our first goal. So we're going to perform a hide phase as the elf, our extra hide phase, of course. We're going to move and then move into Do we have any money as the elf? We have no money. Just the normal money. So move and move again. But what we will do as our elf is we'll spend one phase to trade. Why? Just to see what's in here. And then that will put us into what? The ledges, right? So we'll be in the ledges. So done. So there you go. There's our day 15. We got, all right, we're good to go. Let's do this. So let's take this away. Let's roll this die. Get a monster up for day 15. It is dragons. Oof, bad for the Black Knight, actually, in crew. I think he would have wished that that would not have happened quite yet. So let's do this. Black Knight hides. This is important because if he's hidden, I think he's going to have a good time in this fight, more so than not. So he is hidden. Now that also means that everybody with him is hidden. I shouldn't say that. Everybody who's following him, these two guys, are also hidden. Okay? So now we're going to hide. We hid. We're going to search 3 times. And we're looking for that shrine, first of all. So the first thing we're looking for is the shrine. A 4 or a 1? A 4. Well, guess what? That is the shrine. We cross it off our sheet. We have locate the shrine here, so we're going to score that. So that is coming up roses here for our guy. This card goes away. We're going to get another one here. Put that right there. So we now have the shrine, and we still have 2 phases left. And so the answer is you can either, so there's 2 spells and 2 treasures left in the shrine. I mean, it sucks a little bit because a 2 or a 1, right, is 4 in 36 chance to roll. It's a 1/9 chance. You do have 2 more attempts. It's not impossible. The other thing he can do is try to roll a 3, 2, or a 1 to find this path. And what that would do is that would cut his time by 3 phases to get here. If he could find this, then he's going to get to the top faster. I love a good treasure, especially because a great treasure means points. And right now, since no one else has pulled a great treasure, which is a treasure with a red dot, you'll see it. Well, it's a red outline, I think, on these cards. On the original game, it's a red dot, a big red dot in the middle. A great treasure is going to score this guy points, and since no one else has one, it's 2 points. So that's a big swing in points. So pulling a treasure is a great idea, but planting that flag also is a good idea. So we have 2 attempts. Let's try to grab our thing first. Let's try to grab this treasure first. We're going to take 2 rolls. We're going to try to grab a treasure. Maybe we'll get lucky, right? 2 or a 1. 2 or a 1. That's a 4. That's no dice. 2 or a 1. 1. There you go. So he gets the topmost treasure on the pile. Like that. Spells go back. He gets the Belt of Strength. Well, that is super interesting. So the asterisks on his chits represent the force of his chits. This is super interesting for the Black Knight. So you'll see that the asterisks, that's a medium chit now because it has no asterisks. However, this chit is tremendous. Oh my God. And again, all of these chits, like this one's medium. Okay, that's fine. That's medium. This one's now heavy. This one's tremendous. This is a wonderful treasure for the Black Knight. Now, it doesn't help him right away. And the reason is because he doesn't have really a weapon. Now, it does help him a little bit because he can now play this M4 that's actually really good. He doesn't have a weapon that utilizes all that wonderful strength. Like, he can now do tremendous damage. He needs to find a heavy weapon or a tremendous weapon. and he needs to go wail on people with it because he can now really become one of the strongest fighters in the game with that one item. But he is done. Now the problem is he is now going to draw because what do we have? We have smoke, right? Smoke M. So we look and smoke M. You'll see this is smoke C. C is that little opening there, and then M is no opening. So here's smoke M. He's going to draw two heavy dragons. Now he's hidden, and his boys are hidden. So that's fine. And he's done. And technically, I don't think he actually got to put this on yet, because I think you have to... So he got it at the end of the search phase. I think you have to, essentially at the beginning of a phase, do it. So it's a little bit clunky. So it's in his inactive pile. He can activate it in combat, but only if that takes his action up. So we'll worry about that in a minute. In the meantime, it's the elf's turn. The elf is going to hide, of course, because the elf gets a free hide every day, so he might as well use it, and he does. He is going to trade. Now, he's not a giant fan of the guard. They're not a giant fan of him. Now, what does the guard have? The guard has heavy weapons, which the elf doesn't really care about. And he doesn't have any money for a warhorse. Warhorses are some of the best items in the game, actually. If you can manage to get one, I rarely do, but if you can manage to get one, it is effectively a giant bag of, the equivalent would be a giant bag of hit points. He's going to look at these treasures. Oh, Dragon Essence. So first thing is, since this is... So first thing, it's a purple source. Now, he has a purple spell. It's not that great a spell, but he has a purple spell. This would be a magic source. It will walk around with him, and he'll always have purple magic. That's the first thing. Second thing is, it's a great treasure. Third thing is, it only costs $3. The last thing is that it summons dragons, like it was a smoke chit. So very fascinating there. And the Book of Lore is 4 spells. Now the funny part is, he would like that too, because now he has chits to cast those spells. But this one is fascinating because... And these are great treasures for the magician. The magician loves this kind of stuff because the magician, his thing is having lots of magic all scattered and being rather crappy at pulling it together a little bit. This item would give him purple all the time. This item would give him 4 spells. It's great. We're going to roll for this. Now keep in mind, it's a cost of 3. The guard is neutral with us. However, we're going to buy drinks for the natives because our keg of beer that we got allows us to do that for free. It is effectively a potion of sorts. We get to use it 5 times, and then we discard it. And so what that means is we get to use this thing 5 times, empty it, and now these guys are all friendly with us for this roll. Every roll we can choose. So we're going to trade for the Dragon Essence. And we would hope for something like a 3, 2, or 1 would be awesome. Oh, it's a no deal. Done. Man, that is so good that I would go back and get it. But we instead walk to here. And dragons appear on red, and they do not. And so we are done with the elf. That's too bad. But man, interesting to know that that is there, because that's a great treasure. Buying a great treasure for cheap, that's 2 points. You just bought 2 points. Magician. I mean, the magician's going to do his thing. He's going to alert, pick up the crone. He's going to hide. So we'll roll it right now. And he does. So he is hidden with the crone. And he goes 1, 2, 3. And he is done. And no dragons appear because there's no dragons to appear here. Because it's no red. Now it is the cronies of the Black Knight, the guard. So he has to hide. And if he doesn't hide, because he ends a phase with monsters, he's going to get blocked. Unhidden. So he's hiding. And he does. I did roll. Not a 6. And so he moves into here. Now let's see. What did he actually do? Oh no, he's going to search 2 times. Now he can try to pull a treasure. He's not going to. What he's going to do instead is he is going to try to find that path for the Black Knight. 3, 2, or 1. 3. So he finds the path 4, 6 in the mountains for the Black Knight. Mountain 4, 6. And if he ends a phase, he can communicate with the Black Knight. Done. And then he walks, and then he will try to, I'm sorry, he has 2 searches. He will try to grab 1 treasure. He needs to roll double 1s. He doesn't. And then he walks into here with his cronies. And that is his turn. And do any dragons appear here? They do not. And now it's the Berzerker's time. And the Berzerker is going to search twice and rest. And he needs, let's see, did the Berzerker find caves? No, he has not found the caves yet. The cave, oh no, wrong guy. Did he find caves? 2, 3, no, he did not. Berzerker would love to loot the lair, but there's a problem, and you'll see it in a second. He fails on search 1. Search 2, it's a 3, 2, or 1. And he fails again, and then the lair pops. And so this guy appears to guard the lair. Tremendous Dragon. Now, the best part about the Tremendous Dragon for the Berzerker is, if you're hidden, it's an automatic kill. If you're not hidden, then this head becomes a problem. But if you are hidden, if the Berzerker gets the jump on these guys, those big dragons, he kills them. Now, what he does not want to happen, he does not want this serpents and demons to appear with these dragons, because that becomes dangerous. And a lot of fights are like that in Magic Realm, where, well, this one thing I can run from or I can kill it. Done. It's a known quantity. I am in. You get another thing in there to mix with that, and it's like, uh-oh, I'm toast, because I can't run from this and I can't kill that. Oh, geez. This was an auto kill. This is a disaster. That's sort of how that works, typically. And the Magician is, oh, we got Spellmaster. I didn't put that in his, his thing there. Okay. Wow, that was an interesting day 15, if nothing else. So let's do the fights. So we're going to do this fight first. This spider fight. That's an easy fight. So what we have is, oh, and Swordsman 6 is still with us till the end of the day. That's sort of how we ruled. So it's these 2 guys on this spider. So let's say this guy lures. He can't auto-hit. Neither can he be undercut. In fact, you can't, I mean, on anything that matters, he can't be undercut anyway. And none of these guys are slow enough to matter. So what we're going to do is we're going to deploy. So what that means is the spider fights on his own sheet. It means everybody has to roll random. So these guys have to roll randomly. And I don't think there's any case where this guy, where we lose this. Because these guys can all kill the spider. They all have longer weapons. They attack just as fast, if not faster than the spider. And on this side, the spider can't, the fast side, the spider can't kill any of these guys. So we're going to roll on the spider table to see where he goes. He goes to 3, so he drops 1. Does the spider flip over to his way more dangerous side? He does not. Except not more dangerous side. Now we're going to roll a die for each of these dudes. White on the left, red on the right. So what do these guys do? Well, it's a 6 here, so he drops to the bottom. It's a 2 here, meaning he drops to the bottom also. So, and both these guys have to roll to flip. So left box, 6. Nope, right box, we're looking for a 6. No one flips either. So what happens is, on round 1, the gray number, the weapon length, goes first. None of these guys undercut the spider because they don't have an attack less than 3. So they don't line up with the spider either. They line up with each other. So they miss entirely. The spider attacks his target, which is this guy. He hits him because he undercuts his move of 6. But since he does light damage and this guy's heavy and armored, it means nothing. So that's round 1, and nothing happens. In 2 rounds, if nothing happens, the battle will end in a stalemate. So we're looking for the 2/3 chance. So 4, the spider stays put. Does the spider flip? 6. No. So remember, you're looking for a lineup, or you're looking for a red number lower than the blue number. Pretty much. That's the explain like I'm 5. Both sides are going to roll. 2 and a 6. Guess what? He goes to the bottom and he goes to the bottom. So this combat is absolutely 100%. We're looking for a 1 or a 4 on either of these dice. And it was really, I think, a 2/3 chance to get him. We did not get that 2/3 chance. And in fact, it's not quite a 2/3 chance. And in fact, this combat ends in a stalemate. So all these characters, well, we're going to leave these 2 here because they're here. But this guy goes right back. So in 2 rounds, no one has fatigued. No one's been damaged. No one has died. And so you have the stalemate and we are done. Now we have this fight. This fight's a little dicier, I think. But remember, we are hidden. So that is good news for the Black Knight. So let's get this done. So Black Knight 3 right there. So we got 2 dragons. We are hidden. None of these guys are going to do anything this round. They are going to sit this round. They're just going to sit and wait. The Black Knight is going to sneak out. Right? He's going to sneak out. He is going to... He needs to do heavy damage. And he needs to do heavy damage at a 3 time. So he's going to... alert this weapon, and he's going to play this thing to alert his weapon. He's going to target. So remember, they're not targeting him. So he gets to pick one and drag him onto the sheet. I'm going to target that guy. I mean, they're both the same. But I'm going to hit it at time 3 with heavy damage. And these guys are heavy and armored. The armored, you can tell by the gray ring around them. In old school Magic Realm, the very first printing, there was no indication that anyone was armored. You just had to remember that trolls, dragons, and serpents were all armored done. Trolls, dragons, and serpents are armored, by the way. They have a gray ring. So I'm going to do heavy damage. It's going to hit this guy, and it's going to auto hit him unless he flips over. If he flips over, then this battle takes a sinister turn. If he does not flip over, we're going to have an auto kill on round 1. And then we'll have to figure out how to deal with round 2. But if he does flip over and we don't kill him round 1, then we've got a fight on our hands. Okay, so let's put this dragon in one of the 3 spots. Hopefully it's a 1 or 4 and it just won't matter what happens on the flip. It's a 5, so it does matter. He goes down 1. Roll 2 dice. There's a 70% chance that he stays on the side he's on, and he does. So a time 1 beats a time 0. A length 1, beats a length of 0. This time 3 beats a time of 4, so that is a hit. It does medium damage plus 1 level because he overstrengthed it. It does heavy damage to a heavy chit. This guy is dead. We are now unhidden. And now this guy is going to come onto our sheet pretty much. And what we're going to do, though, is we are going to... I think we're going to lure him. So we're going to lure the dragon onto his sheet. And when we lure someone onto his sheet, it means that he's got a single face off against the dragon, pretty much. He's taunting him. He's the tank. He's going to flip over to this side, and because he lured him, he does not have to roll anything. He gets to play on whatever side he wants, and he's going to stay on that side. And the reason we're doing the 4 is that way he won't get undercut by this attack time of 4. You see, on this side, he's a 5 move. He'll get killed. But not if he switches to that side. Now, he can't kill the dragon either. Can't do it. Can't generate enough damage on this side. But that's okay. And the reason that's okay is because the reason that is okay. Now, mind you, we could probably toss these boys in there and increase our chance of winning, but we would also slightly increase our chance of the target getting killed. It would just slightly increase it. Do you chance it? You know what? I don't care. We're not going to chance it. But what's going to happen is we're going to play this, ready this weapon again, play the heavy again, just like that. We're going to sit that there to cover this guy's move. And unless that dragon flips, we're going to kill him in a round again. So, we're going to roll to see his position. We would rather get a 1 or a 4 right now. And we get a 2, so that's not good. So what he does is he goes down to the bottom. Does he flip? We want to see no 6s, no whammies. And we get a 5, so he does not flip. So, this is round 2. In the second round of combat, the weapon time, or the attack time matters. So, and the weapon length breaks ties. On the first round, it's exchanged. The weapon length wins, it determines, and the speed breaks ties. So on round 2, this guy actually attacks first, because he attacks at a time 3, like our knight, and he has a 4 weapon, so he's longer. He'll hit the dragon for L star damage, and what the star is, it's sharpness, so that ups the damage by 1 to medium, but because the dragon's armored, it reduces it again. So it's light damage. It does nothing. It bounces off the scales of the dragon. The mace has no such problems, however. He's going to do heavy damage, no sharpness stars, just plain old heavy damage. He is crushing it, so he crushes through those scales at a time 3, hitting the dragon, heavy damage. The dragon is killed. Done. And we spent no real resources at all to do that. And then tomorrow we're going to ready this damn belt. The only bad thing that's going to happen today is that this rogue will leave us because we did not rehire him. And that sort of sucks because that's an easy... no, we could hire him later, but... So, the good news is we get 5 prowess and 5 times 2 because the Black Knight killed both of those guys. So his legend is huge. So 15 points of prowess puts the Black Knight at 27 prowess. And that is going to put him in the lead in prowess. So that's sort of cool. And it doesn't do much else in terms of, it's not like a quest or a treasure site or anything like that. What it does do, though, is so this hex is cleared. So he can walk up to there without a care in the world and get his thing, his plant the flag. So the rogue 6, because he becomes unhired at the end of the day, ends up at the monastery chilling. He's becoming a monk. he's like, I'm good. I'm going to become a monk. And I think that's it. I think that is our entire day. So that was sort of eventful. And one of the reasons it was so eventful was simply that, if you look, the Black Knight, by stealing that point off the Berzerker, has evened the scores at 5. Everybody has 5 points right now. So again, pretty cool. That's the first day in week 3. That took a while. Sorry. It took 44 minutes to get through that day. Oh my God. It's day 15. Oh my Lord. Okay, it's going to be a long haul, guys. Okay, day 2. Day 16. So let's see what day 16 is going to hold. So for the Black Knight, so we have found this path. We could charge on in there and make sure this spider gets killed. The monastery counts as a dwelling, by the way, and so he could go kill a spider, quickly turn in his thing, get 5 more bucks. Um, that would effectively waste a day from him planting the flag. Because he has to end his day there to kill these things. You don't fight monsters in the middle of the day. You only fight monsters at the end of the day. Just because. On the other hand, finding this gained us 3/4 of a day. So, maybe it's sort of a wash, and we don't want these guys getting stuck here. We want to get the gang back together. But it does sort of, this is one of the advantages of having the headquarters is you can split up. You can go do different things. Like this guy could go and search for this passage while the Black Knight is completing his quest objectives. So it is very useful in that sense. We do want to get this done by the end of the week because Plant Your Flag gives you rewards at the end of every week that you can maintain your land without monsters in it. So he's going to get 1 reward if he gets this done by the end of this week, and he might get 1 at the end of week 4, and that reward could be a follower, it could be gold. So it's definitely worth trying to do. Do we want to make the move and just go and take the low chance that these guys will not kill this guy because they really ought to kill this guy? I think what we're going to do. So here's what we're going to do with the Black Knight. We are going to search 3 times for giggles, and then we're going to move to the spider. Whereas his guy will hide. I mean, there's not much else he can do, really. It's either he hides or he doesn't hide. Actually, let's see what this quest is. He is Diplomat, encounter goblins. That's a good one. If you encounter goblins, you can essentially take one as your buddy, and the rest of them go away. So that's sort of useful. So we're going to go in, and these guys are just going to hide effectively, and they will actually search 3 times to find that path. They might as well if they can. And so that's his turn. The elf does have a quick choice too. Everybody has a choice, which is part of the issue that I'm having here. So the elf's choice is: do you head back, do the keg, try to buy that goofy? How much gold does the elf have? I think he has 10 gold, right? Yeah, he didn't spend any all day, so it's 10 gold. So he can get up to price times 3 just to buy that treasure, because that treasure is worth really 2 whole points right now. It is not inconsiderable. And it makes casting this blazing light pretty easy. It's not great. It's not a great spell, but it is. And so you would move to trade 2 effectively and hide once. And just try to buy that thing. The other option is to continue back 1, 2, 3, 4, and you end up in this woods. And you would go into the borderland the next day to see what's here. And what you're looking for here is the horde. If you can find the horde, then that could be a big deal, because that's a point also. I say we're going to head back. So we're going to head back. We're going to go 1, 2. So we're gonna go back. So we are going to hide, move, and move back to the guard. Then we're gonna trade, and we're gonna get it this time for sure. Then we're gonna exchange cards because some of our cards are bummers, I think, a little bit. So, I mean, the magician has an easy one. He's just got to continue doing what he's doing. So he's going to alert. He's going to move to the ring. And now we've got to make a decision as to what to do here. So he's got to. So he's going to hide because we don't want to get jumped. Then we're going to search and search. And we're going to search not for the ring. We're going to search for. We're going to peer for the little fairy. And if we can get the fairy, he's a source of gold magic. And that's going to allow us to do the fairy ring by enchanting because we need color and a ritual. Bam, we'll be done. And we will have scored both of those points. So that's pretty easy. It's an easy choice for the magician here. And we didn't do... we didn't find the cave. And we didn't rest. We didn't rest our guy. So let's rest. I'm sorry, we screwed that up. And we're going to rest again. Remember, we don't have to hide because we have that cover. So, okay, day 16, we at least have the stuff written. Let's roll a monster roll. It's more dragon. So dragons are prowling. And the magician is first. Okay. So the magician is going to go here, hidden and alerted. He is hidden. And he is going to search 2 times, and he needs a 3, a 2, or a 1 to find the wood sprite. No. And technically, if he gets a 4, he could nudge it. But he fails both times. Nothing appears because nothing appears on a roll of 1 today. The Black Knight is going to search 3 times. Really trying to roll double ones, silly as that sounds. Might as well at least, yep, 1, 2, and 3. And then he walks into here with his guys in tow. Not hidden, even, at this point. And nothing appears in there. I don't think he hid. Did he hide? No. And we're blocked. And we're done. Berzerker, search 2 times. Looking for a 3, a 2, or a 1. Oh, a 1. Done. Okay. So he finds cave 2 to 3. That's good. That's exactly what we needed. Cave 2 to 3. And he's going to search again. It's not going to do him any good. And then he's going to rest. So he's going to take this one, drag it back. He is going to fatigue the T6 because he has a T5. The dragon, however, is on the prowl because we rolled a 1, and so it jumps him and blocks him because he's unhidden. Done. This guy's going to hide. Once the crony, the soldier captain, hides, so he is hidden, thus avoiding the spider. He needs to roll a 3, 2, or 1 to find the path. That's 1, 2, and he does. So he finds 2 to 5 cliff for the Black Knight. So cliff 2, 5 is found, and we are done with that move. And nothing else appears because we're looking for red diamonds. Elf heads back. Is he hidden or not? Good question. He is not hidden because we can't hide as the elf somehow. He's going to roll on that dragon essence. He's going to buy drinks. So, second use. Friendly. He does need a 3, a 2, or a 1. No. He'll do it again. Third use. Come on, you got this. Oh, no. He does not got this. And that is done. That's his turn. Does anything appear at the guardhouse? No. He does have to roll on the guard because the guard is neutral with him. Normally. And it's no deal. He's fun. So we have 2 battles. Yeah, okay. So 2 battles. The first thing is, before we do the Berzerkers, he's going to use Take Cover to become hidden because you sort of have to. Done. And he is hidden. So that was an easy choice, and that's the reason we haven't been hiding. And that's one of the reasons the caves were easier for us, because we sort of got a free move every time because we didn't have to hide. So we are hidden. So we're going to do this battle because this battle should be an auto kill for the Berzerker if he's hidden. The reason is this crappy dragon move time is a 6. So we are going to play a fight to ready our axe that brings its time to 4. And you know how you hit. You hit by having a red number lower than that blue number. We are then going to play this T5 attack chit to make our damage tremendous, and that star means sharp. So tremendous plus. The dragon is armored. That will bring the damage back down to tremendous, but that kills the tremendous dragon. We are then going to target the dragon and drag him onto this sheet, and then the dragon can move wherever he wants to. He goes down. He can't flip because he is tremendous. They have a different meaning. And so we hit on a time 4. We undercut for tremendous damage. Kill that guy for 10 prowess. Bringing us to 26 prowess. Still second place, by the way. And the Berzerker is a perfect dragon slayer. As long as you're hidden, you're good. And then you're not hidden, worse. The perfect tremendous dragon slayer, I should say. And we are done. Let's flip that. It gets Troll Slayer. Okay, it's a little bit crappier. Berzerker's a worse Troll Slayer than he is a Dragon Slayer, but he still can get to it. And now we have this fight. So this is a little bit of a gang tackle by all of the guys. So what we're going to do is we are going to deploy these guys in this formation. So when you deploy, the last guy you deploy becomes the target. Everybody else is the attacker. You can put them on a like this. And then just to add insult to injury, we are going to... we don't even have to ready this weapon at this point, but we're gonna. So we're gonna ready it with this chit. Then we're gonna play heavy fight, and now we have... Oh, and this is active because we did spend a turn there. And we'll put that right here, just cause. So no matter where, we have enough guys. We have covered all angles. This spider is going to get hit sooner or later by somebody because these guys can't stack on each other. So where does the spider go? He's dead. The spider is dead, really is what it comes down to. He's going to go here. Is he going to flip or not? He does not flip. Done. So how does the attacker side go? 2. So what happens is these 2 guys flip. So you can see 2 means the second box stays put and these 2 flip. How does the defender side go? 3. So he flips to the middle. Does the first box flip? He doesn't. So we're looking for 6s. Second box. Third box. Flips. Fourth box. Oops. Fourth box. Doesn't flip. Okay, so longest weapons first. That's the crossbow. The crossbowman rolls 2 dice on the missile table, and we're looking for a 3, 2, or a 1. We get a 5, so our damage drops 2 levels from heavy to medium to light, and so it bounces off the carapace of the spider and does nothing. These 2 guys miss because they don't line up and they don't undercut. We miss because we don't line up and we don't undercut. Oh, we attack actually next to last. However, this guy lines up at a time of 8 and he smashes the spider. Or at a weapon length of 8, I should say. So yeah, there was no way we were missing that spider. And there really was no way that we were going to get our guy killed. That was a little bit of a foregone conclusion. In the end, you want most, like, that's sort of how you play Magic Realm, is you try to get foregone conclusions or calculated risks. So we're going to take a trophy. This guy goes to the graveyard. So a couple things happen there. We have completed the spider bounty for another point. So the Black Knight got 2 points here. Oh, actually, the Black Knight. I'm sorry. The Black Knight has 5 card points. We've neglected the Black Knight's cards. So the Black Knight has taken a little bit of a lead here in the past 2 days. So that's my fault. So he's located the shrine. That's a point. And he's got a bounty under his belt. Another point. He gets a trophy, which we're going to put here. And if he returns that to a dwelling, he's going to get $5. So he is done. The battles are over. I think we are done with day 16. That did not take 44 minutes, thankfully. It took about 15, keep in mind. So on day 17, what do we got? Magician, alert, hide, search, search, search. We got 3 searches to get done. The Berzerker has found the cave. So this is good. He's found this passage, I should say. Now, he doesn't have take cover still, so he is in a little bit of a spot. The reason is these guys are a lot dangerous to that Berzerker. These 2 serpents, no bueno for the Berzerker. So we have to be a little bit careful now. Having said that, we are going to move to 3. There are 2 of these heavy serpents, right? That's the problem. Yeah, there's 2 of them. If there's just 1, I'm not so worried. But the fact that there are 2 does mean that he can take some damage, pretty hardcore damage there. But man, if we could get 1 day where we search this thing, all we have to do is search and we'll locate it immediately because we have sudden insight. Then we could loot it a couple days. Then we could get out of Dodge, pretty much. One risk. That's the question. It's a 1/6 chance. Just it. 1/6. 1 in 6. 1 in 6 chance. 16% of badness. They won't necessarily kill him, even if they find him. But the 2 of them together, a little dicey. They're only heavy, so he can kill them. It's just that hitting them is hard. They are too fast for him. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to do the insight, and we're going to get that done. That's going to be our risk. That's our big risk here today. The Black Knight has done all the things. He has killed all the things he was going to kill. And so now he's going to race to patch his flag up there. Now he is very, very safe in this mountain. So he might consider going it alone. And then sending his boys to search this, since he knows he has to go this direction. Now what that's going to do for us, we're going to have to go up the mountain for 2 days, down the mountain for 2 days. I think we still have enough time to get that all done. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to move. And it sucks a little bit because it's going to be Three, it's going to be a move and then a move into the mountains. Um, and there really isn't anything else to do. I mean, he can't do another double move, so he'll hide, and that's fine, but it's sort of pointless to hide. See, I yawned. It actually took a while to yawn, right? Because he can go here, and then this is three moves. His fourth move, though, can't be up to here, so that's fine. He'll just do that. His guys, so they will hide, move to three, and then search and search. And I don't think we have Cliff. Yeah, we have Cliff 2-5. We don't have Cliff 3-6. So they will search for Cliff 3-6 done. So that's done. And he is using pretty well the fact that he can split up because of those hirelings. So that hiring was a good move. Even selling the shield, that was a good move. And now it's the elf's turn. And the elf has not been able to buy the thing. So I mean, I hate to say he's going to try one last time. He's going to do trade and then trade. He's not going to do any more trades because at that point he will have burned his keg. What I am going to do though at the end of the day is I'm going to burn both of those cards. Going to listen for rumors is what I call it, meaning that he can discard and draw a quest. So at the end of yesterday, he's going to do that. Treasure cache. So we get rid of Explore Caves because that's a lot of time. So we have a cache, a cache. I always just call it a cache. In the Lost Castle. And he has Locksmith. In High Pass, what? Well, we roll a die. I don't love this one. 3. High Pass 3. I don't love this one because it's in the cave. I mean, it's a point. I mean, but I don't really need the keys. I'm not going to the vault. I mean, it is there. I could go to the vault. He can get to the High Pass 3 actually pretty easily. So I think in this case, and he's going to move into the valley, out into the valley, effectively. And he doesn't need to hide, but it doesn't really matter at this point. Like, none of that matters. Yeah, I think we'll sit on that effectively. He's gonna move, one last time or whatever. He's not gonna roll on the neutral table for them. It's fine. We'll go with that. So there you go. Day 17 written. Monster roll forthcoming. It's a 2 serpents and demons. That's the worst roll for the damn Berzerker. A 1 in 6 chance, and we get the 1 in 6 chance. That's realm luck, baby. Magic realm luck. All right, the elf is first. I mean, we're gonna hide. It's not gonna matter, but we're gonna hide, and we did. And we're gonna roll on the friendly table, trading for the purple source. We need a 3, 2, or 1. We got a 5. That's a failure. One more time. And that fails. And now we're just out of here. And we can't go twice because we just end up there. So that's sort of a bummer. We wasted some time doing that. The keg is gone. These chits are gone. We can just delete them. Actually done. But we move out. I thought it was a good idea. 2 points in this game would not have been a bad play, and we should have gotten it, actually. A 3, 2, or 1 is a 25% chance, and so we did it 4 times, or 5 times. There was a better than even chance that we'd have gotten that for sure. Black Knight goes. So the Black Knight's going to go 1, 2, 3 pretty much. And he hides. But doesn't really matter because nothing's going to appear. Because we've killed it all. This guy goes here. He's going to hide. And they do. And they're going to search twice. 3, 2, or 1. Nope. 3, 2, or 1. Come on, let's get the pier. Get the pier. No, and we don't find it. So these guys are done. The Berzerker is going to move, and the Berzerker is going to search. And as soon as he searches, he plays Sudden Insight. And so he finds it. So he has found the lair, which is a great treasure site. It is one of the best treasure sites in the game. It has a ton of crap in it. It has 7 treasures in it. It also gets us to cycle a card, and that card is Weapon Master. Having said that, these snakes are dangerous for sure. And they do appear. And that's going to make his life a little harder than we would like. And I think... no, we're good. And he'd arrested at the end of today. X rest. That's going to bring this back. So at least he's well rested to be killed by snakes. It's the Magician's turn. The Magician is going to alert, as always. He's going to hide once, just in case it was a 5, the roll. He succeeds. Now he has to search 3 times for this fairy. So once. Nope, 3, 2, or 1. There he goes. So he gets the fairy. He has the wood sprite. So we score the sprite. That is a point. It's another card. So the Magician scores his 4th card. That's good. That's going to get him another point. He is going to keep the wood sprite. And the wood sprite acts as a source of magic. So what we do actually for the wood sprite is I just pull the sparrow. Because that's what we're trying to do. He now has a follower. The follower is a sparrow. That's a gold magic source, though. And so that means he can cast these spells now easily. And that's really what we needed. And I think that's it. He has one more search left, strangely enough. So we're going to roll on the statue. We're going to try to get the last treasure out of the statue. So I think it's a 3. I don't think there's 3 treasures left. There's only 2 treasures left. So a 2 or a 1 would get him treasure. So that's good. So we're done. And nothing appears because Serpents is green. Done. So we have one fight. It is a bad fight. It is one of those fights where you go, I've made bad choices. We are unhidden. The Serpents start on my sheet. They can hit us all dang day. Because there are 2, we have to actually mark one as a target because we can't really tell who we're hitting otherwise. We cannot ready our weapon because we cannot play a fight chit. See these fight chits? We cannot play a fight chit faster than their moves. Is what it is. We also cannot undercut them, even if they go to their slower side. So we're going to play any fight. And we're going to play a move which keeps us from getting hit every time. And that is this move. So what we're hoping these guys stay put, or at least this one stays put. And if he does stay put, then we're going to kill him. And if he doesn't stay put, then, well, he's going to miss us. So we just have to avoid this guy for a round. So let's roll a 1 or a 4, please. That's a 1/3 chance of goodness. That is a 6. That is mostly badness, actually. So this comes down. This guy goes up. So you might see the first death here, actually. And so what happens? Does he flip or not? He doesn't flip. Does the bottom guy flip or not? He does not flip either. So what happens is we swing. Now, it looks like we lined up with a guy. That's not true. We didn't attack him. We attacked him. We don't line up with him, and thus we miss. Our attack is done. And the reason we went first is our weapon length is 5 versus theirs of 0. He's going to go. He doesn't undercut us, and he doesn't line up. He's done. He's going to go. He lines up and hits us. What happens is he hits the helmet, damages the helmet because it does medium damage like the helmet, and he's going to wound us, which means we have to put one of our weapon chits aside, or one of our chits aside into the wounded pile. We're going to place that one aside, and we are done. Now, our weapon does flip over because that's good, actually. That does help us a little bit. And we're going to play and attack that guy and do this. And it really comes down to we have to roll a 1/3 chance. And if we do, we're going to get lucky and actually kill one of these things. And that's great. Oh, and we have to fatigue because we played 2 asterisks. And we have to fatigue a move because we played 2 move asterisks. So we're going to fatigue that move. So what can happen is we can just exhaust ourselves and then die. So let's roll. We get a 4. That is the best possible thing we could roll. Does the first guy flip? He does not. Does the second guy flip? He does not. So, weapon time is the same. 4s. However, our weapon is longer. We go first. This guy is killed with heavy star damage, which reverts back to heavy because he's armored. We kill this guy. This guy misses because he doesn't line up, and we have to fatigue, and we will fatigue another asterisk. Done. Our weapon reverts to that side. And we're just going to have to sit and live with it because you can only play 2 asterisks around, and we're playing 2 to move and make sure this guy doesn't hit us every time. Yeah, I'd rather him not hit us every time, really, is what it comes down to. So we're looking for, again, a 1 or a 4, and that will end this fight. 4. Perfect. He lines up. Does he flip? He does not flip. Now, it does matter, and I'll tell you why it matters. His time is faster than a 5. He goes first, and that's because when our weapon hits, it becomes unreadied. When it misses, it becomes readied, and it hit last round. So he's first. He will hit us. He will damage our helmet. Since it is already damaged, the helmet is destroyed. So I'll put it in a little trash pile here just to indicate that he's lost his helmet. He wounds us, which means we have to take another chip and move it off to the side here. And we'll take... God, it barely matters. It does matter. We're going to take this H6 and do it. And then we're going to have to fatigue another move asterisk. So we make change is what you can do. But the spider is, the snake is killed. So, that was certainly a winnable battle, but a costly one. We've taken 4 chits out of play. Fortunately, Berzerker rests pretty well. We lost our helmet, which is our only source of protection from damage. But we did get 12 prowess. And the reason that's 12 is because the second one is multiplied by 2 because we killed 2 things today. Again, the interesting thing is, in this battle for prowess, the Berzerker has once again usurped the Black Knight as the head honcho. Whew, that was rough, but I'm glad we survived it and did what we did there. So let's is that it? Is that all the fights? Is that all the thrills and chills? Yes, it is. So we are done with the day. And on to the next day. That would be day 18. The wood sprite is off the board because we've captured him. Oh, I could just use this chit. That's the weird part. So, I mean, you know, it's fine. We'll use the sparrow to be the chit. That's fine because we know it's a time one. It's a source of gold magic. The nice thing is, okay, so what the hell are we doing here? We are writing our day 18. We have to perform a quest phase, and then we choose one of those things. Oh, that's hilarious, by the way. We'll get a fairy companion. If we enchant this, we'll get a fairy companion. So, okay. We'll alert. We will do a quest phase here. That will enchant this because we have gold magic. That's this guy. And we have a type 3 chit to pair with it. So that will enchant the deep woods. And then we will score the fairy ring. So there you go. So that will be another point that the magician will score. At that point in time, so the problem is, and we just need to be aware of this, that's all. So this is 2. And we're in 2. When we enchant this, when we enchant this, we're going to move because that's the deep woods goes nuts when you enchant it. And that's fine. That's great. Not a big deal at all. But we just have to be cognizant of it because we have to write our move such that it will take this into account. So we're going to do a quest phase. We'll end up here. Then we'll move effectively to the end. And do we want to move to the end? Like, is that a bonus? The crone. We're going to score the crone if we do that. Okay. Yeah. We're doing it. Okay, done. Okay, so he's written. Guy number 2. That is the Berzerker. So the Berzerker. Oh my god. Okay. Ooh. So again, a roll of a 2 is going to suck. This guy is dangerous for us. So what I'm going to do, but I do want to see where this, I got to see where this Weapon Master is, pretty much. So I'm going to roll this Weapon Master card that I just drew. 3, 4. Caves 4. Wow, I hear of a Weapon Master, and he happens to be relatively close to where I'm at. That is cool. So, okay. Okay. I'm going to search and extra rest. That's a little dicey. I don't love it. I do need to rest to bring this back. I can fight for a round like this. I'm going to do one more. So I'm going to do 2 rests. So we're going to dance around this cave and hope that we can draw some treasures out of that lair before the giant serpent shows up. So I'm hoping no 2s, pretty much, is sort of where I'm at. The Black Knight is going to move, but he has to do a quest phase. So he's going to move, and he is done. And he's going to move to the flag. And then his guy is going to hide and search to find the spot for his. Okay, so he is done. And then finally the elf. I think he's just going to hide and move to 2. So he's going to hide, move to 2. Done. So that's day 18. And on day 18, we need to make a monster check. It's a 4. So giants and trolls. The henchmen go first, and then everybody else. So the henchmen hide. They do not hide. They search 3 times. They're looking for a 3, 2, or 1, and they do get the 3, 2, or 1. So they're going to mark that cliff off. Now, technically, they can only tell the Black Knight once they've met up again. So, take that for what it's worth. But I don't know. Don't know what I'm doing with them right now. Giants and trolls pop up. It's the gray. We could get a giant. I think they're all dead. Yeah, they're dead. So we are done. The Black Knight goes and moves to the top there. He cannot yet plant his flag because he has not yet done a quest phase, but he is done. Nothing appears. The Magician is going to alert. He is going to do his quest phase to allow him to enchant. That's how the card reads. It's a little bit wonky since normally enchanting would take 2 of your phases, but I'm going to, read it as written, perform a quest phase to do one of the following, because typically the quest phase is the thing that says, okay, do the quest phase, and now you can have these choices, which is what this is. He's going to choose enchant with gold or gray magic, which he has gold magic because he's got this guy. And so he's going to take this, the ritual here. He fatigues the color magic, which actually doesn't do anything because it's a dude. So that's going to flip this tile. Everything in 2 is still in 2. Then he's going to move down to here and drop the crone off. So today he actually scores 2 points. He scores the fairy ring and the crown. So that's 2 more points for 6 cards. That brings him to 8 points, actually. So pretty good. Pretty good stuff so far. So he drops the crown off. The fairy ring remains. It doesn't go away like the wood sprite did. But he is done. Elf is next. The elf moves up to 2, and he's going to hide. And he does hide. And a troll shows up because the vault is there. So the big old nasty tremendous troll shows up there. Done. And our Berzerker, he's going to search once. Remember, he's found the lair already. This is a loot. This is outright just show me the money. 4. So he takes the 4th treasure from the pile. It's the amulet, cancels 1 curse or spell in the same clearing. It's worth $5. Certainly not worth it. We're going to drag this back. We're going to make change for this and put this back there. Done. And we are done with his day. And is anyone else in any jeopardy? I think the magician likes the company. Yeah, he likes company in the rogue, so he doesn't have to roll anything. He's good. He's good. Here, because nothing appeared here. They're good. He's fine-ish. He had something up here. Oh, wait, Bones. Bones M might draw. Don't think it does, because these guys are all dead. Bones M doesn't draw. But the vault does. Okay. So let's talk about where we're at here right now. Let's talk about where we're at. The magician is going to turn in Spellmaster because he's just not going to get there probably by the end of this game. So at the end of the day, he's going to ditch that card and get a purple source, which doesn't suck, but it's not going to help him. I think he's going to try to push Navigator as fast as possible at this point. The other thing he can do is he's returned to a visitor, so he gets a potion of spider blood. I don't know whether or not, do I have one of those? Did I make one of those? I have an items bag somewhere, right? Yeah. Actually do not have spider blood. So that's a little lame. What we're going to do is I will take this. I'm going to shrink this guy down. And that's his spider blood card. Right? That's his item. He has. So what it does, it adds a extra sharpness star to a weapon. So he can do more damage. And that's all. I mean, what he needed to turn all that crap in, he turned the crone in, and then he talked to her. So he's good. He's good to go. He is also friendly with the crone. The crone does have spells for him to learn, but they cost $10. I mean, they're expensive. All that shit's expensive. So I think what he does is he just moves out now and tries to finish Navigator. Very judiciously using this nudge, actually. He's just going to pound this nudge chit and use it. Get that thing done. He can finish it in one search right there, and then we have to figure out what to do with him. So that's done. The Berzerker. So what? We are writing day 19, I think, right? Yeah. So okay. So day 19 is the alert phase, of course. He's going to move to Deep Woods 6. He's going to search 2 times to find his stuff. The Berzerker is going to search and rest, and he is done. The Black Knight is going to quest to plant his flag, so that will be done. So he will have planted that flag. He's going to get a VP and a title to the land. With the caveat that that's a little bit crappy because he still can't get to here. I think is 4 prowess. I mean, you can kill the ghosts. The ghosts are the soldier could go kill the ghost. Not an issue. Is 4 prowess. I mean, it brings him a little closer because he's just 8 points behind right now. It would bring him. It would close the gap halfway, and so he's in a race. He's in a race for that point, that last point. It will delay a little bit the Black Knight, but the Black Knight has to come down the mountain anyway. So what the Black Knight's going to do is he's going to plant his flag with the quest, and he's going to move, and then that's mostly it. He doesn't even need to hide, but he will because everything's still dead here. And then his buddies will go. His buddies will make 2 moves to 4. They will move to Deep Woods 4. And then, so the question is, can the knight get to, if you can get to here, you can go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, potentially get to the fairy ring and sort of squeeze 1 point out of there, maybe. So when his guys end up here, do they walk up in there or do they search 2 times? Largely is sort of what I'm trying to get at. I'm going to say they search twice because it's always worthwhile to find passages if you can, or if you have an easy way to do it. And we are done with his writing. And then finally, the elf. The elf doesn't quite care. The elf is going to hide for sure because he can. This is the locksmith. It's worth a point, if nothing else. Sure. That's fine. It's right there, and we might get it. So, done. Day 19 is ready to roll here. Three ogres, wolves, goblins, octopus. Okay. A little dangerous for those of us in caves and such, but I don't think anybody is in jeopardy at the moment. Our guys go. So they go 1, 2. They roll twice to find paths. They fail once. 3, 2, or 1, guys. 3, 2, or 1. Nope, fail twice. They are done. The Black Knight goes. He plants his flag, so the flag is planted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that right there up top, and then he goes down to, and then whatever, he hides, but it doesn't matter because nothing's going to appear there. The elf is going to hide and end up here because he can only move 2, remember. But he does get to hide. You get your extra phases. Does he hide or not? No. You know why? Because we never hide. So the elf ends up here, unhidden. And oh god, okay. And then draws every creature in the universe. So the Lost City and the Lost Castle are 2 special chits. They indicate, so the Lost City is always in 3. Lost Castle is always in 1. They actually have numbers on them in the regular game. But what we do is we take 5 chits that have been placed aside, and now we flip the 5 chits. So there is a Slither in 3. There is Cairns in 5. The Pool in 6. Patter 5. Oh, there's going to be a lot of crap showing up. And Flutter 2. So let's look. First things first. Ruins is going to bring goblins. And it's going to bring them right here. Right onto us. The goblins are guarding the locksmith. Done. Patter 5 is going to bring, and you do them, so you do the, there's 2 types of chits. There's the sound chits, which are the patters, the howls, and so on. And then there's the hazard chits, which are the danks, the stinks, the bones, etc. So we did ruins first, because that's the first one, and then we do them in order of number. So patter is going to draw next to clearing 5. And the pool is going to draw next to clearing 6. Ooh, that was dicey. That was very dicey. Okay. We'll figure that out later. In the meantime, a lot of crap there. The magician's going to go. He moves up to Deepwood 6 and searches 2 times. So he goes boom, boom. He's alerted. He moves to Deepwood 6. He's going to search twice. He's looking for a 3, 2, or 1. And he gets it. So he gets Deep Woods 3/6 and 4/6 because he gets both of them. Deep Woods 3/6 and 4/6. Now what that does is that's going to pop Navigator. He has completed Navigator because he's found three. Found three paths. So he has won the card game considerably well. He has 9 points right now. And now he gets 3 more paths he can just mark off. He can just burn 3 paths. And the question is which 3 paths are most useful to him. Does he have the cliff yet? He does not have cliff 3/6. So he's going to do cliff 3/6. That's an easy one because it's a hard path for everybody to deal with. He could get ruins 5/1, but I don't know that that matters as much. Oh, he's going to take caves 2/3. And then ledges 1/3. Just in case. In case he actually heads up there. And so now he has Arsonist. Interesting. So we'll have to roll that one tomorrow. Okay. So the Magician is done. And he has scored again. So good for him. The Berzerker is looking to pull treasures out of the lair as fast as humanly possible before the snake shows up. So he rolls twice. He gets the 6. So he gets the 6th treasure in the pile. Scroll of Nature. I mean, we don't care, but it's $10. And we roll a 6, but since there's only 5 treasures left, you get nothing. That was a bad roll, by the way. And nothing appears in there. So day 19 is complete. The elf finds himself surrounded by goblins. His locksmith, surrounded by goblins. Unfortunately, he also knows where the Lost Castle is. The Lost Castle is all the way back here. Because the Lost Castle always appears in 1. The Lost Castle appears in the mountains, or in the mountain tiles, which are cliffs, mountains, crag. The Deep Woods is a mountain tile, and the ledges. Since we haven't seen the Lost Castle yet, it's got to be in Crags 1. So, okay. That is amazingly unhelpful, actually. What it tells us is that because this locksmith is a little bit of a wash, right? It's a it's not like we can't fight these goblins. The elf's actually reasonably suited to kill 6 goblins. But he can rack up a whole score doing that. It's just whether or not that's going to actually do him any good in the scheme of things. Could he score 30 or 40 prowess? He can if he kills everything in like a day or so. The stack of goblins is worth 21 if you kill them all in one day. Hard to do, but you can. If the other creatures prowl up, the danger is that the octopus shows up. So the octopus is the big danger here. If the octopus shows, then the elf can no longer run. The elf can run out of the cave. The goblins can't catch him. soon as the octopus shows up. So again, remember I said one stack of monsters often isn't the issue, because once you learn the game, you know every character going, okay, that stack of monsters I can deal with. That stack of monsters I can run from. Done. I got this. Let me go fight that stack of monsters. The problem is the second stack shows up. The octopus is so fast, his tentacles, right? He has 8 tentacles. He just so fast that he cannot, the elf can't run from him. His fastest move is a 2. So this thing goes, get done. And then the goblins cut him down as he's held up in the tentacles. So I think we're leaving. I think we get out of Dodge. I think, and then what we're going to do is we're going to have to just turn in. Yeah, we're going to have to burn all of those things. So what we're going to do is we're going to play our move 2 right now. So we're going to play this guy, and that's going to get us out of here now. And so we are in between those 2 clearings, and that's the end of the day, and we are done. And it is day 20, so we're almost through this one. This is going to be a gigantic file, a ridiculously large file, by the way. Okay, so let's write day 20. Let's write it for the elf. Now the elf is not in a cave. So the elf actually starts outside of a cave. So he gets 4 phases. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3. The elf is going to move. He's going to hide. And then he's going to move into the borderlands. And then he's going to hide again, effectively. So we're just going to make sure that we are hidden and done. And I want to see what's in the darn borderlands. So that's that. We have... so we'll do this guy. So we have the arsonist. So with the arsonist, we have an option. We can either plot petty revenge or revenge against the patrol, the soldiers. The soldiers is hard. Well, the soldiers is yeah, the soldiers is hard because they're traveling with the Black Knight. We would have to do the patrol. We could just do a nefarious plot, roll for a dwelling, and then we can just warn them and get some cash. Or no, get a victory point. So we could get to the patrol, but it is not a short path. So let's think about this. You know what? I do have a move. It's just... I do have a move. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to... roll the arson. And the question is, do I choose petty revenge, which would be against the patrol, and try to get to the patrol in the chapel? Or do I just pick nefarious plot and then go warn the dwelling? Now I could also just do the burn. 10 gold. That's a lot of gold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do nefarious plot. And I'm going to roll the dwelling. So hold on. I rolled a 2. So what's a 2? It's over here. It's the guardhouse. So I have a nefarious plot here. It's a little crappy because that's a long way away. But we can play... I'm a little bummed I didn't think of this before. But we have a play. So I'm going to ready a spell there. I'm going to ready a type 7. I'm going to hide. And you wouldn't have to hide, but we're going to hide anyway. And then we are going to move into 5. Ruins 5. And we did not pick the ruins as one of our things. So we unfortunately will have to search. So I'm going to have to search twice. That does waste a day, but that's fine. And we are done. Day 20 for the Berzerker. Oh, did we get into our rest phase? So we get to rest. Done. Search, X rest. And now the Black Knight. And the Black Knight, 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's going to move into Cliff 2. Where's he trying to get to? Because Plant Flag is done. So Plant Flag. I'm sorry. So hold on. Did we? Let me score this thing. Because he did plant his flag. So that's another point. That's a 6th point. So all good. We're going to keep this here because we do need to read it. But he does get another one. He has a lost pouch. Ooh. Lost pouch. You may open the pouch. You roll to see which native group it belongs to. So I'm going to take that one and do lost pouch. It's a quest phase. So that does make his move a little easier because he's going to do a quest phase to open the damn pouch. And then he is going to 1, 2, 3. He's going to move into the monastery. So he is done with his day. And his buddies here. The goblins are all way up there. Oof. Okay, we're going to move to the monastery. We'll figure out what to do with our quest cards then. We are going to, and this isn't maybe the best idea, but we are going to, with our guys, search, and then we're going to move to the ghosts. To kill the ghosts. Might as well. I think it's a freebie with all these guys. And done. And then that leaves the elf, done, and done. Day 20 is written. Let's roll a monster roll. It's a 3 again. Ooh, man. Okay. Well, good for the elf to get out of dodge because he'd have been beset upon by everything in that clearing. Elf first. So he's going here. He's going to end up there in the Borderlands. And he's going to have hidden twice. So let's roll it. Fail. Jeez. He's had the worst luck hiding. He has had the worst hiding luck. It is Stink and the altar in 1. So he's found the altar. I mean, not the worst thing to have found. It doesn't matter in the sense that it's not one of his cards or anything, but it's a treasure site. And no one's found a great treasure yet, so there you go. We're going to search 3 times here for the henchman. We need a 3, a 2, or a 1 to find 2 paths, and we don't get it. But then we march into here, done. And they would prowl and attack us regardless, because they always are. He goes to here. But we do a quest phase to open this pouch. So what we do when we open the pouch is we roll a d8. See what native group It belongs to 3. The soldiers. Well, that's easy-ish, right? So the soldiers are with us. So what do we do with this pouch? So the crown has been scored. The wood sprite has been scored. Really, the fairy ring's the only thing left, and the spider bounty has like a day or two or whatever. Let's read the pouch. We either give them the pouch and they become our allies, or we take 3d6 gold. It's fascinating. So 3d6 gold, we have 5 gold right now. We could get up to 23 gold. Now 23 gold would put us in first place. So it's either worth 1 point or 2. Really, it's possibly worth 0 points because you could roll really poorly. You could roll a 3, for instance, and only have 8 gold, and the elf would still, you wouldn't break 10 effectively. But if you roll a 6 or above, you're going to be in second place. So it's worth a point. Giving it is definitely worth a point. And you get the allies of the soldiers. I don't necessarily know that you care at this point because they are. But you lose 1 level of relation with the group. So, and humorously, I don't know that we care. Oh, you don't have to do a quest. I see. You don't have to do a quest phase to figure out who it belongs to. You can roll to see who it belongs to and then make the decision. So actually, that's my fault. So we have to make. So I have to make the decision now and either keep the quest phase or not. But it doesn't. I was going to stop in the monastery anyway to ditch cards. So let me quickly determine. So is he going to do the pouch or not? The 3d6 could give him up to 2 points. Could give him 1 point. Giving the pouch automatically gives him 1 point. The gold has other uses potentially. He's not going to have to hire the soldiers. The soldiers will leave him the next to the last day. He'll be fine. Does he care about anything else? If he rolls a 6 or higher, he gets a point. He has to roll like a 17. I tell you, we're just going to give the pouch up. So I'm just going to score it. So he will hide. It doesn't really matter. And he's going to hand the pouch over. That's going to give him a 7th card point, which is pretty cool. And he is done. And the soldiers are his allies, but whatever. He doesn't care. I don't care. So he is done. Anyone else? Yes, we got the Berzerker to go, so I'm going to draw a card just for him for tomorrow. We'll get that. And it's Navigator, and that stinks. Well, maybe it doesn't. Who knows? Oh, actually, it doesn't. He's found 3 already. That's the worst part. So he's going to get a point, effectively. The Berzerker, we're still looking for something cool. So we're going to rest first, and we're going to rest this move, because you always take the moves back first, in my opinion, if you can. And now he rolls 2 times for the search. He rolls a 5, so he gets the 5th treasure in the pile. Scroll of Alchemy. Oh, there you go. You know, sort of crappy. Doesn't do us much good. But you'll notice the red outline, which means it's a great treasure, which means he's the only one that has a great treasure, and he's going to score. He gets 1 more roll. He needs a 4 or less now, though. And he gets a 5, so he doesn't draw anything out. He is done. No goblins will appear, and he gets his rest, and he is complete. And now our guy here, our magician, alerts. He alerts as type 7. He hides. And he is hidden. He moves to Ruins 5. Searches twice. He needs a 3, 2, or a 1. Nope, that's a failure. That's a success. So he finds Ruins 5, 1 to 5. And I don't think anything appears. I think he is done. Yep, because it's goblins again. All right, day is over. On day 21, there's purple magic in every clearing. On day 21, we also roll 2 monster rolls. On day 20, we have one battle, and that is the soldiers and the ghosts. Sounds like a NIS game. Right there. Okay. So this crew is fighting these two. Pretty much comes down to on this side, they can't harm us. On this side, we can speed them. We can do the correct thing speed-wise. I think. But they can... Ooh, they can undercut us, though. So this was a bad move. I did not think of this correctly. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to lure. We're going to lure with him. Done. Okay. Because remember on round 1, it's weapon length first. And then he goes on his own sheet. These guys are going to... It doesn't really matter what we play them on because weapon length will go first. And we want to go first is primarily the issue. We'll target him. He's the target. These two are the buds. So, all right. So that was a screw up on my part, 100%. I could get all these guys killed, and I would feel horrible. We really should have hidden beforehand, and then we could have thought about this and not done it. But we're going to do it. Damn it. So, first thing is first, where does this guy go? He stays put. That's actually the worst possible answer. And he stays heavy. And now we are looking for a 4, 3, 2, or 1. I really screwed this. I should have looked at this battle. 4, 3, 2, or 1. And I would mulligan myself, actually. Because mistakes like that, I go, oh, wait. And we would get a 5. So he is dead. So, not good. Not good on my part. The ghosts gut the soldiers here, in this case. And I thought he would get him potentially. And then these guys could gang tackle this one. So he is dead. These guys still get to go. So first the ghost moves. And the ghost's going to go down here. Then all the soldiers move. He stays put. He travels down there. So that's good. Everybody gets a chance to flip. Does the ghost flip? No. Does the pikeman over here flip? Yes. Does the swordsman flip? Doesn't really matter. No. Does the pikeman flip? No. So what happens is these weapon links go first and he kills him first. And he is done. Now we do pretty much the same thing on this guy, like this. Ghost goes. The ghost moves to here. 1. So let's see. He goes to the bottom. And he goes to the bottom. He does not flip. The bottom guy doesn't flip. He doesn't flip. Does the ghost flip? The ghost does flip. Okay, so that's at least the safer side. So that's one round where nothing happened. Oops, hold on, give me a second. I gotta move him back. Okay, so where does the ghost go? Ghost goes to 5, so he drops down 1. Where do both sides of this equation go? These guys both drop down one. This guy stays put because it's. Yep. Okay. Oof. Okay. So who is that? Hold on. Give me a second. Let me. Oop. I need to pick a guy. So we're gonna pick. We'll do the ghost first. Does the ghost flip? I wasn't paying attention. No, ghost doesn't flip. Does the pikeman flip? No. Does the great swordsman flip? No. Does the target flip? No. No one flips. So he goes first because weapon speed matters. He hits him because he undercuts his time. He does light damage, which is nothing. And then this guy cuts him down with a spear, and these guys both die. But we did have a death. So the funny part is, well, not funny part, the crappy part is we gain 4 notoriety and lose 4 notoriety because we killed the crossbowman. All these characters go to the graveyard. So that was an ill-thought venture. And like I said, sometimes I make clunky mistakes like that. I'm like, because as soon as I looked at that, I'm like, oh, this is a terrible fight. These guys are actually in trouble, and you're just not reading it right. You're just not paying attention. You're not reading it right. So, but that's it. That's that. We got 0 notoriety out of that. So I'm going to put a 0. We fought and we got nothing. I have 30 for him, but only 27 on the board. So that is a mistake on my part. It seems. Or did we get a spider in there? We got a spider in there. It was right there. So there's our 30. So we scored 0 points because we lost 4. So when you get your guys killed, you lose the points. Is there any other fights? I don't think there's any more fights. I think we are done. And then what we have to do is the Black Knight is going to score Navigator because it says any learned before this card count toward the total. So he's going to score another card point. So the Black Knight is eating card points alive here. And he gets 3 more widgets. So he will learn the cave, the important caves one. So that's 1. So what is he going to try to do? He could run to the fairy ring next time. If he knew 4/6, if he knew this 4/6 gold, he could run to the fairy ring. So 4/6 deep woods gold. So that's 2 that he picked. And then finally, let's pick 1/5 ruins just in case it is, because that one's often important. So that's it. So he scored Navigator. He is done. He's lucking out on some of these cards. Some of that is luck. Snake Charmer. So what he's going to do, though, is he's going to burn Diplomat Goblins because the Goblins are all up there. He's going to draw one last card. He has Bridge Magic. And that's his end of his day. So Bridge Magic is cross 3 bridges. Now you get a cool item if you do it, but the problem with crossing 3 bridges is there's not many bridges in the game. You'd have to cross over here, go down here. It's just a lot of walking, effectively. So don't know how I feel about that one. We're going to run to the fairy ring is what we're going to do. So actually, I'll do the Black Knight's move right now. So he goes 1, 2, 3, 4. He can't make it by day 21. No. So, okay, that's pointless-ish. So I think we had. Darn it. If he'd have just gone a little further, he's missing it by one space, which stinks. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's no possible way. So, oh well, heck with it. I think we're going to go to 1, 2. Did we find the cliff or not? I thought we did. Yeah. So we're going to go 1, 2, 2, 3. These guys are going to come back. So we're going to all be together. Or you try the shrine, and the shrine only has no, you don't try the shrine. Heck with it. You're stuck. So 1, 2, and then we're gonna. So there you go. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start moving. Get out of dodge here. We're gonna go hide, move to cliff 3, and our guys are gonna come back to us. They're gonna move to cliff 3, I believe. 1, 2, 3 to cliff 3. Done. They will also hide. So they're done. So we got that written. That took a while to write. I thought I was going to be more clever than I was. So the elf seeing the altar. So the elf's going to move to this campfire, though. Before anything else happens. Can he get to the... Yes, he can. So he's going to do this. He's going to extra hide. He's going to search, and he's going to move to the campfire. Because he wants to turn cards in and so on. Also, he is done. Our magician... So our magician will alert. He will. Is there a yeah? I mean, yeah. So he's going to hide once, just cause. Twice. Hide 3 times. Move to the bats. I think that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna move done. So we're moving to the bats, and then our berserker. So how many treasures are left? 4. You know what? I hate to say we are pulling those bad boys. So we're gonna search, and then extra rest again. I mean, we might as well, right? This is a good. I mean, we're gonna go to that weapon master. For sure, but we do need to just get our crap together because we are at this point not going to pull many cards, so we have to keep the points that we have. So let's day 21. We roll 2 monster dice. We have to remember that these monsters will come back. So these monsters are going to leave the board and come back into play. So this one and this one comes back into play. The bat that's out on the board goes, and he is gone. 5 and 6 is not the most exciting of the rolls. Something like giants would be exciting. Serpents would be dangerous and exciting. We're glad for the berserker's sake that it's not that. I have no idea where this die came from, by the way. Like there's this random die, just happening. Put it there. All right. So let's see who goes on this last day of this 2+ hour thing here. I'll never upload this, by the way. It's going to be forever. So the magician is going to alert his chit. He's going to hide. like a couple times, and then he moves there. And then what happens is the bat comes back because it's flutter 1 done. The knight goes here. He's going to be, I think, hidden twice, right? Yeah, hide twice. He is hidden. His guy comes. He's going to hide once. Well, what happens is, I'm sorry, so he doesn't hide, actually. So what happens is we get these two dudes show up. And the funny part is, so we should have turned this in for $5 because we did get a bounty. That's my fault. So he has 10 gold, not 5 gold. Good to know. Probably should have kept the pouch. Oh well. He actually gets one more shot at that though. The elf is going to search. He's going to hide once, so let's hide first. He does. Let's search 2 times or 3 times. 1 is not going to do. He needs a 4. A 3 is not going to do it. It's a 4 or a 1. So he does find the altar, the elf. That is his second search. He should have a third search because he has 4 moves. The third search is a loot. No. And then he moves to the campfire. Does anyone show up at the campfire? They do. These guys show up. The Bashkar, as his buddies actually, show up at the campfire. And the elf is done. And the Berzerker is looting his heart out. So he's going to loot twice. Nope, that's once. Come on. Yes, third treasure. Woohoo. Okay. Oh, it's the Enchanted Meadow. So the Enchanted Meadow doesn't really help us right now, but it's fine. It's great. So what happened? It's another location. So what we found is we found a place. And the place here, when we search it, we can get a pony. We can get this really neat sword. We can roll for a wish. We can get cursed. 9 times out of 10, I argue it's not worth it, by the way. But so be it. That's what we found, and now we rest this. And since it was wounded, it can only come back down. Every asterisk either moves down 1, or if you have no asterisks, you go all the way to the bottom there. I think that's it. That is day 21. Now, so this guy actually does move in. He's unhidden. And then what's going to happen is he's going to draw the second spider. And I forgot to move him actually afterwards. So we have a little bit of a scrum here. Fortunately, I think this scrum is a little better for our guys than the other one was. Let's check it out. The Black Knight can... excuse me. Erase his folly with these guys. So what we're going to do is we are going to lure, right? Because what we're trying to avoid is this. And we can. So what we're going to do is we're going to lure each of these guys on their own sheet. The spiders will be on this sheet, just like this. The Black Knight can ready his mace with any chit he wants. That one. Doesn't have to fatigue it. Mace is ready, so it's time 3. And now he can play whatever to do however much damage. Doesn't matter, but he does have to play an asterisk. You can play this one. Oh no, because the Belt of Strength changes that chit. So he has to play 1 asterisk, strangely enough, to get heavy damage. And so he's going to put that there. Or actually, he'll just put it here. So there you go. So round 1. Let's see where the spider goes. Remember that weapon length is the important roll here. So 3, the spider goes here. Does the spider flip or not? Spider doesn't flip. So what happens is this long weapon misses. This slightly less long weapon hits. Spider is dead at the Black Knight's hand. Down here, 6, the spider drops to the bottom. Does the spider flip or not? Spider does not flip. So he'll miss, and he'll miss. And now we're just going to do the same thing, and then the Black Knight is going to also do the same thing and move his. Now someone died, so we actually have, this is it's the combat doesn't end in 2 rounds. It ends in 2 rounds where nothing dies, no one fatigues, no one gets wounded, or no one casts a spell. So where does the spider end up? He ends up at the bottom. Womp womp. That stinks. Does the spider flip or not? He does not flip. So what happens is everybody misses. We miss, he misses, and he's attacking him and misses. So now we're going to change our tune. We'll deploy the rest of the troops, I think. So now the spider goes on a sheet. Now these guys are going to attack like this. Where does the spider end up? 6. So he comes all the way down. So that means he's going to die. Does the spider flip or not? No. Where do the guys end up? I mean, this is a done deal at this point. So the guys end up like this. This guy ends up there. And then we roll 4 times. No flip. No flip. No flip. Spider flips. So who attacks first? The Black Knight is a 3, so he attacks first. He kills the spider with heavy damage. That's it. That's why I said it doesn't matter what happens at this point. Once the spider lined up with the Black Knight, it was a done deal. The Black Knight does kill both of them, though, and so he gets the credit, and he is going to get 9 total prowess because he killed 2 creatures in a row, and so that brings him to 39. He also gets, I'm going to copy these and I'm going to paste these here. These go in the graveyard, but he gets 2 trophies. The bounty is still on until the end of today. So the bounty is still on to the end of week 3. He's just earned himself possibly 10 more gold if he can manage to bring these to a place. Fortunately, there's a place right over here. So he can get 10 gold and score gold here also. So I think that's it for hold on. We got one more combat. That is the magician is fighting this bat. And you might think, why the hell would you do that? The bat's a killer. Look at his attack speed. Look at his defense speed. Certainly you're not going to put the bat up against any of these creatures, and you're sort of not. What you are going to do... Oh, by the way, we did get the fairy ring, right? So we have a fairy companion. So we actually have 2 of these things, strangely enough, which is sort of fun. We're surrounded by sprites. We're like a Disney princess, effectively. I mean, doesn't look like one. It just has the heart of one. What we're going to do, though, is we have, remember, alerted our Type 7 chit. And so, yeah, whatever. We're going to lure the bat with one of our sparrow wisps. And then we're going to cast the wonderful, wacky spell using our gold magic in the clearing and our Type 7 chit here. Now, this is expensive. It's fatiguing to cast. We're going to cast Control Bats. So this bat now becomes our buddy. Now, it only lasts a day. So through tomorrow, the bat is our buddy and behaves like the soldiers do in that he can move around and do stuff. The super fun part about the bat is he can fly us somewhere. He can't fly our rogue, though. So we're going to leave our rogue behind for the last week. And that's a little dicey. But with our other companions, I think we can manage. And so what we're going to have to do next week, looking at the 3 new events that will pop, is then figure out, well, what the heck can we do And where can we get to, right? So we could fly here. And our spellmaster's gone though. So this is pointless. So we should have deleted that. But we can fly to the vault, as a for instance. We could fly to the guard. In fact, I mean, the vault's not great between these two, simply because it's hard to get to from the vault to the. But we could fly. We could indeed fly to the vault. We could fly to the guard to do our arson or not arson. We could, probably land the bat somewhere. So we're going to have to figure that out. All right. So it's the end. This video is super long. It's going to take me forever to get loaded up and so on. So I apologize for that, by the way. It's also a super long video for you guys to watch. But this was a very, very eventful week. Let's look at the final scores of the week here. And I just have to make sure, right? Make sure of them. So making sure of these scores, the magician has, so cards, and you'll have to excuse me because I'm jumping the camera around. Magician has 7 cards. That's absolutely the case. Berzerker still 2 points. The Black Knight has 8 points in cards. The Elf has 4 points in cards. That is absolutely the case. Oh, we're going to have to turn cards in. So I'm actually probably going to turn Locksmith in. I will likely turn the Lost Castle in. I'll probably turn them all in. Holy crap. Well, no, I know. No, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I'm going to keep locate the horde. I think maybe. God. So yeah, so good enough. Done. So I'm going to turn these in. So I'm going to erase these for the moment, just so that I remember. The elf has 4. So we got the card points. That is true. So now let's look at everything else. Prowess. The Black Knight is now winning prowess by a point. And that puts him to 10 points versus the Berzerker's 7 points. He stole one from Berzerker. Who has gold? Berzerker's still winning gold. No one else has scored gold yet. Done. Great Treasure is still a Berzerker. Spells are still where they're at. The scores now are 10 to 9 to 7 to 5. So, looking good. The Black Knight is kicking butt. It's all still sort of tenuous. The Berzerker could take that point away from him, but he does need to score other points right now. The Magician is probably going to get a point or maybe 2 in, but definitely 1 from his quests. The Elf, a little dicey. The Elf sort of floundered a little bit here after he got his big pub crawl thing done. So I got to figure that out. All right, this video's gone on long enough, 2.5 hours. If you stick with me, thanks. That's crazy, but thank you very much. If not, I understand. But give me a comment, give me a like, whatever whatever. I play these to talk to you guys. If you're just seeing Magic Realm for the first time, it doesn't take this long to do a week. That is me doing 4 characters and talking the whole time. So keep that in mind. The game can go a little faster than this. So I will talk to you later, guys. Bye-bye. Thanks a lot. Let me save the game, too.